Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike, Kilo Oscar 4, Papa Delta India, coming to you with a video today on the Xeigu XPA-125B amplifier. I started out doing parts on the air with my Icom 705, and I did a QRP from March until July of 2021. And then I got my hands on this amplifier, and I absolutely enjoyed using this thing as 100 watts on my parks on the air activations. How's everybody today? We're going to talk about this amplifier today, and I think you're going to enjoy what I have to say. This is not for everybody, but in my case, what happened was I was seriously into parks on the air. I was thoroughly enjoying it. By the way, enjoying coffee in my NASA cup today. I got this at Kennedy Space Center this week. I originally had two of these I bought years ago. I broke them both. So I was down there today, and for 16 bucks each, I got them because look at the handle. Woo! It's got a Saturn V rocket on it. If anybody knows me, you know I'm into rockets. I'm into look, I got my 50th anniversary AMSAT shirt on. But that's not why we're here today. We're here today to talk about this amplifier and using it with the 705. So I was doing Parks on the Air QRP, using all kinds of antennas on the 705 at 10 watts. I used the Buddy Pole Deluxe. I used the Buddy Stick Deluxe. I used end-fed half waves. I used a whole bunch of different antennas, and it was a blast, and I had a good time with it. But I started thinking, like, boy, you know, I bet you if I had 100 watts, this could be even more cool. But I didn't want to go out and buy a Yaesu 891, which I eventually bought anyway and put in my car. But needless to say, I wanted to stick with Icom. I was enjoying the Icom radio so much. When I found out that this amplifier could be used with the Icom radio, I had to jump on it. I wanted it. So I did. And yeah, I spent almost as much on this amplifier as I did on my 891. So call me a fool. It's okay. But I do have the 891 in my car now. So now when I do 100 watts, I do it in the car, and I use the 705 strictly for QRP. But I still have the amplifier. I may sell it someday. I don't know. But right now, I think I'm going to hang on to it because I found out when you sell stuff, it's gone. You have it, you enjoy it, you use it, and then you sell it. You don't have it anymore. If you keep it, well, then you might have use for it in the future, like I did with the MAT 705 tuner that I did a review on the other day. Now, one thing nice about this amplifier is not only is it a great amplifier, it'll take 5 watts and make it 100 or close to it. It has a tuner built in. And there's little tricks in using the tuner that aren't obvious in the beginning, but you'll learn them as time goes on. I'm not going to do a whole review of the amplifier. I'm basically going to show you how I hooked it up and how it works with my 705. There is a little cable you got to get your hands on from eBay. There's a guy selling them on eBay. It's basically your basic mic cable that goes to a tip ring sleeve plug that plugs into the 705 ALC jack. I'll show that to you in a second. See if I can find a link to that cable. It's on eBay is where I got it. Very inexpensive. But you need that cable to work it with the 705. See, the Xeigu XPA-125B was made to work with Xeigu radios. And if you have a Xeigu radio, it does everything automatically. On the 705, it doesn't. You have to manually select your band, and then you have to tune it. And you have to force it to tune. And the way you do that is you put the radio on RTTY or CW. You put the power up all the way, and you key the mic as you press as you hold down the tune button, and the radio will tune. It does have memories, so if you've used it multiple times on different things, it'll automatically remember the tuning settings for those frequencies that you did that with. Okay, so let's start talking about the radio and the amplifier and how they work together. All right, we're looking at the Xeigu XPA-125B, and the 705. I have it tuned right now to 40 meters. Okay, right now I'm on lower sideband. Let's change that to RIDI. The reason you change it to RIDI is because it puts a constant carrier on the line. If I key the mic, I'm putting 4.5 watts into the radio and getting 64 out. You can't read that because this is really bright on the screen, so I'll come in closer so the light adjusts just to the tuner. And watch when I key the mic. Right now, the radio is set at 50% because I don't have an external power supply connected right now. But you can see when I key the mic, 4.5 volts going into the radio, 64 volts coming out. On this screen, this side here will show you the SWR between the amplifier and the radio. This one shows the SWR between the amplifier and the antenna. Now watch now we're on RIDI. When I key the mic, 9.9 volts going into 9.9 watts going into the radio and 62 coming out. Doesn't seem so efficient, but let's turn the volume down here. We don't need to listen to that. And we will tune it. So now what you do is with the radio at 10 watts and the power turned up all the way, you hold down the tuner button and key the mic. And let's see, it says 1.8 on the output. Yeah. SWR leaving the radio leaving the amplifier is 1.8, coming in is 1.1. So the radio sees 1.1 SWR. And if you look at the SWR meter on the radio, notice it's not even 1.5. Okay, so now we are on the 40 meter band. Now let's say we want to go to 20 meters. I'm going to go to 20 meters on the radio, but if I key the mic right now, it's all messed up. Notice we get warnings. Why? Because we're on 40 meters here. To change, you hit the band button to manually change 30 meters, 20 meters. Okay, now, and we'll retune on 20 meters. Let's tune to a different frequency in case I tuned that one before. Stay within the band mic. Let's go 320. And we're going to key the mic and press the tune button. You heard it just for a split second. It tried to tune. Let's see, did we get it tuned? Yes, we did. Look at that. 9 watts going in. Now, here's the best part. We're going to go on the radio. We're going to turn the power down to like 20%, which would be like 2 watts. 2 watts from the radio into the amplifier, and we get 82 watts out. Look at that, 1.5 watts, and we got a 1.3 SWR going out to the antenna, and we got a 1 SWR going to the radio. So if you look at the radio, you'll see it says 1, all right? And then on the amp, it shows the same thing. Come on. Come on, camera, hook up. Let's go. Come on. Adjust the brightness. There you go. All right, so that's how it works. Now, how do you hook it up? This is going to get a little fancy here now. Let's back the camera out. Here we have the 705 right here. 705 has the antenna wire, goes into the Xeigu right here. This is where you go from the radio to the Xeigu amplifier. This is your antenna out. I have this hooked up to my Chris-Craft R9, which is out on a mast in the backyard. And now this is the control cable. Let's just shut this stuff off so I can demonstrate this for you. Okay, everything's off. Let's unplug this. This is the control cable, as described before. It is a mouse plug going to a tip ring sleeve plug that this goes into the radio, this goes into the amplifier. So we'll put this back. 2 plugs on the right side of the radio. One is listed tuner on the bottom, and this is listed ALC. You're going to plug it into the ALC. So the wire coming from the amplifier gets plugged into the ALC, the top one, not the tuner. The secret is you get to do 100 watts parks on the air, which I love. And it works really fantastic. I don't suggest this for the beginner, for the newbie, because it's a little complicated to get to start it. What you do is you go over here and you hold down the tune button and key the mic on ready. See, you didn't have to do anything. And look at this. I disconnected the power supply from the 705. So I'm just using the battery that's internal, which means it's only 5 watts. If I key the mic, I'm putting 1.5 watts into the radio and 80 watts is coming out. Is that amazing? Absolutely amazing. And it's tuned. The SWR going out to the antenna is 1.5 and coming from the radio is 1.0. So that, I'm telling you, there's nothing better than having a tuned 100-watt signal going out. In my car, I use the 891 with the ATOS antenna, so it tunes it each band that I'm on. It automatically tunes it. But this, for doing parks on the air with a 705, I can't think of a better way to do it. Maybe there's other amplifiers that are smaller and lighter. I don't know. This is the one I got, and it works fantastic. So that's how the XPA-125B works in the long run. I thoroughly enjoy it. I suggest if you want to do 100 watts with a Icom 705, this is one of your viable options. You could do this, and it would work real good for you. I've used it a number of times. I've contacted people all over the world from remote locations in parks. I do like having the 891 in my car, though, to do 100 watts parks on the air, because it gives me the ability to hit a park, drop, get 10 contacts, move on to a next park, get another park, get 10 contacts, move on to the next park. I've done 6 parks in one day, and it's a lot of fun. And it's one way to do it. The other way is to get in one spot and set up and get as many contacts as you can. That's what this would be good for. Alrighty, I decided to take a look for you guys, and here is the page on eBay. Icom 705 to Xeigu XPA-125B keying cable. This is what you need that I got on Amazon. I mean on eBay, and this is what you need to look for. I don't know why it has 300 plus sold. Oh, they sold over 300 of these. That means a lot of people are using this amplifier with this radio. So yeah, $24.95, and it's going to be $5.95 shipping. It's not, for 30 something bucks, it's definitely worth the price. I would highly suggest picking this up. So the reason Xeigu doesn't give you this cable when you buy the amplifier is it's not made to work with the 705. It will work with the 705 the way I described, where you have to manually set the band, you manually have to tune it, but it's not originally made for that purpose. So they don't give you the cable. So you have to buy it separate. So go to that link on eBay, and you can pick up the cable there. I'll see if I can find a link for the XPA-125B for you. Put that in the notes, and also the Icom 705. But you know where you get that. You can go to HRO, you can go to Gigaparts. All those places have that radio. If I could only have one radio, that would be the radio I would want. All right. On that note, I'll say thanks a lot for watching. KO4 PDI Clear 73.